and welcome back to GDL Game of the Week. But it's not Game of the Week, it's Power Rankings. In this video, we're going to go through every team in GDL2, give it a ranking from 1 to 10, point ups to strengths, weaknesses. You have it. Alternative title, we just chat shit for an hour. I'm here with Carmen.
There's a lot of snow outside my window. Oh, hi.
Chuke.
There is no snow outside my window.
And SILVESTRON.
I am currently outside my window.
I'm sorry.
This is an interesting intro. But yeah, we're going to just go through one at a time, but you see two on your screen. But I don't think there's very much to add, except for we'll name Terra types when they're on the screen, right? Because you can't directly see them, but I think the sentiment stays anyway.
When they're relevant.
Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. So first off, we have RandomPopplio and his RandomPopplios. Sheesh, never saw that coming.
That's crazy.
So this man has first pick Gouging Fire, which pissed off Rayan. We have Gouging Fire with Screamtail support, so like that as a combination, because like there's T-Wave, so you can really free up like a choice band. Gouging Fire, there's Rooks, there's such a good defensive pivot alongside. That's like
I also have screens, right?
Yeah, that's a 1-2 combo that kind of comes most games. I think my gripe with this team is probably lack of SPDF, because we have Screamtail, and that's it, I guess. Bronzog, but has similar weaknesses. Definitely not Avalok Isui.
No, Good Score doesn't really have great SPDF, but it's never running SPDF.
Yeah,
unless, like, specific scenario.
Avalok is Terra, Ice, Water, and Fairy, which is big because that covers for Clowitzer being your water. And Tauros is normal ground steel. I could see like Intimidate Terra Steel or something. That could
just like a bulky steel type.
That could be helpful, right?
Does Tauros get set up other than work up? No, right?
I don't think so.
No bulk ups or anything?
Kind of just wants to hit things with coverage.
No, the regular one doesn't get bulk up, I don't think.
Got it.
My main concern is that our dragon type doesn't resist water. Our water type is Clawitzer, and our grass type is Frail.
Yes,
like offensive water coverage completely destroys, like steamrolls this team.
Yeah, I agree. I think this team already played a game against the Primarina, and there was no switches to the Primarina.
Nope. That Specs Primarina just bowled over everything.
Yeah.
Like, offensively, we have Miasgrata offensively to pressure, but that can only go so far when the guy can just switch out.
Yeah,
Screamtail is a pretty hefty special wall, though.
Yeah.
Did it get exploded also last match?
I think you're going to rely on that Screamtail a lot then. There's definitely going to be some bad matchup against, for example, Shadow Ball spam, because your normal type's also offensive, and so is your dark type, so that's going to be dicey. So I think your main concern is definitely Water and Ghost types.
When Screamtail needs to preserve itself through the game, it's gonna have to run Wish and Protect, which is already rough because you're struggling with 4 movesaws in gem already.
Yeah. I think this team has very good speed tiers, right? That's something it does do well. You pretty much always do have to go for your like Jolly or Timid. You can never really go for Modest because you'll be outsped. So that's a positive. I don't think it's as rock weak as the screen right now makes it look, because I think Gliscor's rock resist. Just like tell me one physical rock type like a 2-shot with rock moves.
Ah, but you underestimate the Celestial and Meteor Beam. That's special, not physical. Never mind.
Yeah, that's alright. There's like 2 special rock types, so that's kind of my point, right? But yeah, I think it definitely has some defensive weaknesses. But I'd give it a 7.
I'll give it a 7. It's strong. It has good offensive pressure. It just has some small issues around defensively in matchups that are rough.
Actually, I do want to point out that it doesn't have a grounded poison. I know grounded poison does mean that you're kind of really reliant on Avalok removing the hazards if you're trying to because that's the only removal.
Yeah, there's no poison at all.
Yeah, there's no poison at all. Like even not the Terra poisons, I think maybe it goes down to 6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5.
I'll stick with 7. I still think it's offensively enough to pressure certain teams.
Alright.
I'm gonna go 7 because Green Tail is my favorite Pokemon. It's
Alright.
not, but I like it.
It's just Jigglypuff with the mohawk.
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but it goes hard still. I love
Sylvester
using
has
it.
a
It's fun
mohawk
to
in
use.
real life, though, so.
This
Oh,
is
true.
very not true.
Alright, Chuke disappeared, so we'll just move to Pokemon 2.
Oh, apologies.
No worries. Yeah, so this is Ryan's team down here. I mean, this is just a top 4 basically that you can just bring so reliably, right? Great Tusk comes every game. Primarina comes every game. It might be Specs, it might be AV. I think AV is going to be actually your best set for this team.
It could be Calm Mind.
I think AV makes you like a more durable switch in for a lot of special moves. I do think that's going to be something that this team needs, unless you bring a Regice. There's not really that much that does that, aside from maybe Spidefitron. But aside from that, we have like Weezing G, which doesn't take special hits, right? Cloth doesn't take special hits unless it's AV. Zepstrika doesn't take them. Spiritomb can.
Doesn't want to.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's really good like defensive, special defensive like counterparts from each other. Like Great Tusk is weak specially at Primarina. Primarina weak physically. Great Tusk,
Yes.
and they like to support each other well there.
But I think this team is very defensively solid, right? Because we have... Well, it shows like a fighting weakness here, right? But I don't agree necessarily. Great Tusk resists most physical moves, if we're being real. You have
Yeah, but
Primarina and
Weezing
Weezing G, like, right up there, that resists. And at least one of those coming every single week. So you already have
It's
like
not
2
though.
answers built in. So, I think...
Also, both fairies, none of them share the same fairy weakness because like Primarina covers like it's neutral to steel and Weezing is neutral to poison.
Oh, I
So
should
it's like
point out,
the overlap there isn't that bad.
I should point out, Regice is Ice, Electric, Ground, and Spiritomb is Dark, Fairy, Steel. I think adding... I don't really know about Steel Spiritomb, to be honest. I don't really see where you're going to bring that over Heatran. I can see Fairy, though. I can see when you're like, okay, now
Yeah,
I want to
well, I mean-
resist Dark, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, and Steel in theory, I guess, just gets rid of the fairy weakness.
But
Yeah.
even then, what are you doing from there?
You can get one turn out of it, right? And sometimes it's all you need.
Mm.
So, there's some merit to it. I think with this team, I don't quite like the speed tiers as much. We'll just go over, so it should be. Oh, they're not quite on the screen, but that's an issue.
Sorry to interrupt. I hate Zebstrika.
Why do you
Um,
hate the Striker?
Ugly.
Wow.
It's just a zebra.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Zebstrika and Ogerpon. I don't really think Zebstrika comes to that many games, especially when you haven't made a Terra Captain. Which means you are going to be either using a lot of Choice Scarf or you're going to be quite slow. And being slow is not something you want in Gen 9.
Oh no.
It's not really reactive meta in a way 8 was, you know, like... It's always going to be a little bit more offense focused, so that might be something you have to be careful with.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think...
Weezing DLR usually has to run Levitate because otherwise you're. I guess like if it's a physical ground type, which it most likely will be, Great Tusk can kind of stomach those hits pretty well too.
Yeah, but if your opponent runs Gravity, you're screwed. Ah, fuck, I've triggered Pookie again. My bad, guys. Ah.
Oh no, poor Pookie.
Anyway, yeah, I don't think this team has that many weaknesses. I'm a little bit concerned by some of the like over reliance on like the high tiers, but
Mhm.
especially on Ogerpon for speed. But I think it's still like a 7.5 or 8.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 in my view. I don't like drafts that are super top heavy, that the low tiers don't really do too much, so to speak.
Mhm.
Like, Koaf is definitely helpful in matchups. Braviary can do bulk up shenanigans. But there's like if it's a Striker and a Regice that are just kind of there.
I'll give it a 7 just because it's, as we talked about at the beginning, this team can struggle a little bit on the special defense side.
I can see that for sure.
Otherwise, it's real solid.
No, coming from Sylvestron, so we're gonna assume we rate it a Sylvestron Blast out of 10.
The Western Blast out of 10.
Sorry, I'm back. I had to talk to someone about ADV. Which team am I looking at?
Uh,
Is this the Premier one or the new one?
No, we moved on. We moved on. We
Okay,
have
the Premier one was really good.
we have Uzbekistan coming in with 5 ground weaknesses and 5 ice weaknesses. No one
That
told
is
us man.
not ideal.
No one told us man about Mammoth Swine.
Oh no,
It's
the
not real.
Mammoth matchup.
It didn't happen, actually. They just stopped at Piloswine, thank God.
It's okay, we have Intimidate, Max Fizz, Def Tauros, Paldea, Blaze. It'll only take 68% from EQ instead.
No, you're right. You're right.
Nice.
This team is questionable.
Mammoth Swine moment.
I like King Gambit. I like Azumarill. I don't know how I like 2 physical, attackers that basically come all the exact same weeks, like with by same speed tier, and you're really stacking on that like Will-O-Wisp weakness right now. I think this team's speed tiers are bad.
There's a lot of
Really.
orange.
Here we go, Donald Trump. Hold on.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, who would ever have this bad speed tiers? Totally not someone who just doesn't know how to speed tier.
There's further off Trick Room, I guess, but Sinister might get it. I think it does. It does, but yeah, I don't like this team's speed tiers, and it's defensively suspect, to be honest.
I'm not sure why Raichu's here when Zapdos exists. I guess for the speed, but that's not great. Because when
Raichu
you
is
ever bring
actually the
Raichu
best wish
over
passer in the
Zapdos?
game.
Huh?
I said Raichu is the best wish passer in the game.
Raichu's definitely value 5, right?
It is value 5, but
Yeah.
we have Zapdos.
I think this team does
Yeah.
need that Zapdos, because otherwise you kind of lose to the existence of ground. If there's a ground that hits Sinister. But I think this team definitely could do with some that maybe resist Fairy. I'm gonna look at it.
The board, let's take a look.
I think this definitely needs like a defensive overhaul, right? There's a lot of Pokemon that don't really contribute. That could be. It probably would have to be via a tier, like a high tier, because I don't see you fixing it with just getting rid of Gabite and Raichu. But I would probably scrap some of your low and mid, and maybe one high tier. Like maybe get rid of just, I don't know, get rid of a 2 or a 3. Kind of do like some type of overhaul. I don't really know what you need, but get like
What guys are around in 2 tier?
Get like a Levitate Pokemon if there's any around that resist Fairy, if that's possible. Probably not. However, if it is, no, there's definitely some defensive improvements. I can only give just like a 4.5, to be honest.
This is like a 3. I don't see this vision.
I'm gonna.
It's so slow.
Yeah, it's slow. It's 6-0'd by Mammoth Swine on matchup.
I should point out that Furgiraffe can tear into fire to resist Fairy, and then
Then
resist the
direct
Mammoth Swine.
Earthquake.
It can also resist. It can also turn to Fairy, but yeah, Steel Gabite is technically a Fairy resist, but yeah, it's
Wait, Mammoth Swine's undrafted.
What?
Uzbekistan.
Pick up Mammoth Swine.
Uzbekistan,
Pick
hear
up
me
Mammoth
out.
Swine.
If you pick that up, they cannot get it.
Exactly.
What
No,
I'm
but
saying-
Mammoth Swine doesn't exist.
Mammoth Swine's also decent at like
Swine.
clopping other like ground types. Like it threatens them out, like bulky ground types, so that can help.
Yeah, what are we saying, Pittsburgh?
Mammoth Swine's not real, so you should pick up Piloswine.
Alright.
I have Piloswine.
Sylvester, any comments?
Am I still looking at this Gambit team? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Usually I'd rate this a 3.2, but I see a Rhyperior, so I'm gonna give it an 8.
That, you know what? I like logic. Next up, we have.
Yeah, we love Big Gonzo.
Yes, sir.
Next up, we have Ultra Guy.
Rain
Alright,
Team.
I'm gonna help you guys out.
I like this team a lot.
Doesn't matter. This doesn't fucking matter. We are using Rain. We're using Electro Shot. We're using Water moves. We're using it with Basculegion, and we're using it with Kingdra. If we ever have to defend, we lose. If we don't have to defend, we win.
Just go in.
Just don't
Despite-
play defense ever.
There's spike
No.
support from Fortress, Overquill, and Frostlass, depending
No.
on what you need.
Nana, you thought this had 3 water types? Guess again, Magmortis, Terra Water, bro.
Is that the Fire, Water, Grass, Big Mortar?
Yeah. That's
Love it.
it's interesting. Yeah, this
We
team
got
is
more water.
very weak to counter weather.
7.8.
Like, if you beat the Pelipper, you kind of beat this team. However, if you don't beat the Pelipper, like the Archaludon, the Swift Swimmers, there's a very high value picks on this team where Overkill is good value, Articuno is good value, Electro is good value. I think it definitely has a lot. I maybe would have given up a little bit of the rain synergy to just take off some defensive typings, and get,
I hate rain.
Yeah, I would maybe get like a good Spadef pivot. I know we've even saying a lot of Spadef, but right here we have
I mean,
Pelipper.
that's important in this metagame.
Here we have Pelipper and Fortress that can take a hit and then like do like a slow pivot, and that's it. And they're both like fully Fistef. So yeah,
I guess Toadscroll is supposed to be the Spadef on this team.
maybe.
Yeah, but that guy doesn't
Maybe like
like.
Assault Fist
hit it well.
No, actually Magmortar eats rocks and dies.
Very much.
Unless it's Terra, who cares?
This team has a garbage matchup against Chile Reception, but that's any rain team, so.
I
Yeah.
just hate rain teams. I think they're so monotonous.
Well, you would not like my team then.
This has
I wouldn't.
this team has a plan A and no plan B,
Yeah.
and it really depends on the skill of the player. I've not seen him play too much. Who
is
knows?
this?
He
Who
could
is
be.
this?
This is Ultra Guy.
yeah.
He's
The
new.
Ultra Guy, not Random Hero.
No, he's in top div.
I confuse the two constantly.
I did before the draft, but then Random Hero, he makes himself known, so I won't confuse him.
That reminded me. I forgot pickums again. Every season I forget. I forget week 1.
Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. If you are mad about no pick'ems, ping Terra and he will fix it for you.
Yes, of course.
All right, yeah.
Ping Terra,
I'll
and
give this a.
it will do something funny.
I'll give it a 6.2 because it's good
give
offensively,
it a
bad
s-
defensively.
I'll give it a 6. I've played with a rain team like this before with a plan. It was just go in, and if it doesn't work, then you lose. I think it's effective when it works, and yeah. This Ultra Guy could pick up like Crafty as like a Spadef potentially. That can cover like something because that's in T3. Obviously we have Overkill for Dark, but like having something else that's not rain reliant could be helpful.
Potential. What are you saying, Sylvester?
Yeah, I think it's a good rain team. You have some cool Hurricane spammers. You have some cool stuff going on. You have Archaludon. I just hate rain teams so much. So I'm gonna give this a 5.8.
Bro's a Sunny guy.
This team is very similar to mine, so I kind of want to rate it pretty high, but it doesn't have Poliwrath on it.
No, it
You
doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really can't put it on too
isn't
high.
two. Sorry.
Yeah, it's got to be like it's probably still a 7 for me. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Mitch with his St. Augustine's Circles. I don't know where St. Augustine is, but it
I
doesn't
took my
matter.
ride on 4 out of 10.
That's a good thing. He has Rhydon. Now you like Rhydon. Anyway,
No, it's bad because it's not on my team.
okay. Dragapult, good. Dragapult Sarud, very good.
Dragapult does like everything. Like, people who say Dragapult is bad, no, it's not.
Yeah, Real Talk actually messed with this team pretty heavy. This looks fun.
Yeah, I very much agree. I don't know how good it is, but it looks so fun to use because all your Pokemon have such good variety. Right, Dragapult has so many sets we don't even have time to get into it. Zarude has good setup sets. It has good bulky sets with jungle heating. It has scarf sets, choice band if you want to. Rotom can do bulky and can also go for nasty blood, especially with pain split alongside. It's very nice.
I think the Rotom's lost Pain Split.
No, it got it back in DLC 2.
Oh, got it back. Gotcha.
Yeah. I think Clefable's going to be your big role player on this. Clefable's Registeel, Rotom Heat, Blastoise is kind of... You're probably going to bring 2 to 3 out of those every single week. And then try to get the opportunities for your Dragapult, for your Zarude, for your Passimian, right? It's Ground, Water, Ghost on Rhydon, and it's Fighting, Poison, Electric on Passimian.
Those are some interesting types.
I think Poison makes sense. You can get rid of the fairies because you really want to make sure that Dragapult and Sibian aren't being checked by the same things.
Stab Gunk Shot with Terra is pretty strong.
And I think there's definitely a niche for Terra Electric, because sometimes you can not only avoid paralysis, but you can also hit like some flying type like Zapdos G perfectly, you know?
Blastoise definitely feels like it's almost like shepherded into a defensive role here, even though it can go Shell Smash. I don't feel like there's room for that on this team.
I agree. I think, you know,
Yeah, it's the only removal, right?
yeah, you have SPM for mind games, but
Yeah.
you have webs and you have a grounded poison. However, they both come in the form of Ariados, which means
Yes, Ariados.
Toxic Spikes might be pretty good.
Also, we got the Terra Poison Passimian.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That's definitely potential. You could definitely do that early as well.
Jungle Healing also helps mitigate that on Zarude, but that's still like an investment. Like that's still like something you have to do, right? Theoretically.
This might be a first team that doesn't have like a complete lack of Spadef, because you can just like slap Spadef, Registeel, or Rotom Heat, or Clef, and you're good.
Yeah, those guys just eat those hits.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go for a 7.5 at least, because you know at least it has that.
I'll go 7.5. It's well rounded. It functions well, and can definitely catch an unprepared player off guard.
I'm gonna give it an 8. Kind of the same reasons, but Squawkabilly just looks like so much fun to use. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of love it as a tier 5. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm also a Squawkabilly fan. Even though I love this team and I would like to use it, I'm actually going to give it the lowest score out of the four of us with a 7. Because I feel like, I don't know, I might be wrong, but in my eyes, it kind of looks like it lacks just strong hit someone in the head potential. Like, you have damage dealing mods, but like they all require like effort and chip, and you don't really have a strong breaker. Like, I feel like the strongest breaker on this team is Squawkabilly, straight up.
I see where you're going with that, to be honest. Yeah, it might have to be like Life Orb on Clefable, which...
Yeah, I mess with that still. And I do really like this team and I would love to use it, but I just feel like you're missing that one, like, oh, I want to hit someone in the head. Like, what if your Passimian was a different low tier and one of your high tiers was a Conkeldurr and you just hit someone in the jaw? That looks fun.
Yeah, I can see
I like
that.
Conkeldurr. God,
If you're missing out on Felstinger Ariados, that's the ultimate breaker.
I love Felstinger. Oh my god, you're so right. 10 out of 10.
Yo, facts. But yeah, next team. So we have T.Busta and his Moonlight Sonata. Well, first thing you know is there's quite a lot of types missing. However, there is Terra Ground and Alcremie. It's Fairy Ground Water. And there's also Fire via Raichu Alola, which is Electric Ghost Fire. I think it's an offensive team. It has to be played offensively, and it needs to use Mandibuzz as a pivot effectively. It needs to be like, you know, take the hit, just go to the next guy, or like use Pincurcher for that, right? Because we have Iron Boulder for essentially for the late game. We can do some breaking with Raichu. We can do some breaking with Cinccino. We can do some breaking with Zoroark. We can do some sweeping with Riffroom. There's a lot for that. But it's getting very, very awkward defensively, right?
Mandibuzz has to carry so much weight on his shoulders.
Yes.
Defensively.
To be fair, Mandibuzz does do that though.
Yes. Somehow your best way of dealing with Volt Switch is Lightning Rod Pincurchin, which should never ever be brought. So you might have to look into that, maybe bring in an actual ground type. But yeah.
Oh, there is just no ground type.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
For sure. I think not having a fighting type is kind of mitigated by Iron Boulder existing. But yeah,
ground types are available.
It might be good to dip into the tier 5 for like a fighting or a ground or something to replace Litigant.
Ah yes, the epic Doug trio.
Yeah. I would maybe say, I don't know exactly which ghost types are available, but if you can swap Zoroark Hisui for one of them, because it kind of clashes with Cinccino a little bit. Or you can get Cinccino and use that, right? Because then you keep both types and yeah, you get more out of there. But
Gengar is available in T2.
Okay.
I like that.
I love Gengar. He was great.
Yeah, Gengar's cool.
Yeah, this team's speed tiers are good, so that's definitely to his credit.
A lot of fast stuff.
With
Yes.
the Boulder booster being so crazy.
And Surfer Raichu could take people off guard.
Yes. I think this is the team that you're probably going to go up like 6-3 against early. But then if you've let some things get weakened, and then there's like Life Orb plus, like Life Orb Iron Boulder in terrain, it might get dicey. So I can see that going well, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely has to rely on just doing more damage on the opponent because the defensive isn't great. So I'm gonna give it a 6.
I'll be real. I think it's a 5.
I was gonna go 6.5.
Iron Boulder is a fraud mon. 6.
All right.
Use the goat.
We have King Zane. Zane is in fact not king. He lives in a republic. But we do have IncredibleKing first with his King's 11. To start off, we have Psychic, Fairy, and Fighting on Ndidi as Terra typings, and Grass, Poison, and Fire on Vileplume. So, yeah.
There's terrain. Oh, yeah, there is. Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you start?
So Halucha and DD is a combination of all time. It does. I mean, yeah, Halucha is still good if it has terrain. The Psychic terrain, I don't really see it helping anything else because, like, Latios isn't grounded. Hitmontop has priority, but if its Psychic terrain's up, you're not going to be able to really use it. Mm-hmm. Morgrim's Prankster, his entire existence gets blocked by your own Psychic terrain.
Yeah,
So I just feel like that's a strange set of mons to bring with it.
I mean, I do think, it's mostly for that combination, right? Or so you can do damage by yourself with, like, the Specs Terra Psychic or Scarf Terra Psychic.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's definitely a lot of help this Pokemon brings because you can go Terra Fairy and have that, like, decent mid-ground between having to bring Florges and, still having an impact in the game because you can go, like, Healing Wish. You can, effectively play towards an endgame of Halucha. Yeah, I think it's... I was going to comment on it having, like, Orthworm and Treads, but actually don't mind it, because otherwise you're quite very weak.
Mm-hmm.
They also don't really share the ground weakness.
Yeah. I do think the Terra types on Vileplume are actually great, because, like, it's a bit questionable at first glance going both your, like, actual types. But I see, you sometimes struggle with this team when you need to resist ground, and going pure grass helps. You do have a lack of fairy resist, so going pure poison can help as well. And fire can be like a mid ground where you still resist fairy, and you have a different defensive typing, right? So you now resist ice, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I guess steel does that as well, but you already have 2 of those, so I back it.
B tiers seem balanced for the most part.
Yeah, I think Latios is definitely the standout here. I would be a little bit concerned about Scarfers because Halucha can only be fast once, right? Well, it can be fast, but it can be super fast once.
Yeah, you don't really want to bring like something like Treads, Iron, like Scarf Treads, or...
Yeah, pretty much.
This team has like 2.2 offensive mons in my opinion.
I mean, Latios.
You have
insane,
Latios. Right? Yeah, it's a great mon, super offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Then your other attackers then. Treads and Halucha, right? Those guys, Halucha has Sword Dance and he's a setup sweeper and all that, but I feel like he's lacking in offensive capability. Treads also feels kind of weak to me.
I can definitely see that. I think you have a lot of Pokemon that try to sponge hits. Like, this would be in fantastic Gen 8 team, but
yeah,
you definitely rely on Latios for damage.
Agreed. And I'm okay with that still. I love Latios, but I don't know. I like hitting people in the head with my teams. That's just my taste, though.
I could see, I don't know, an Orthworm being swapped for a Basculin, just because that's also a nice PT for this team. And because that just, comes in, punches you in the head. Well, like, crashes into you, I guess.
Personally, I just don't understand what Hitmontop is doing here.
Breakdancing.
Real.
You're right. Okay.
No, I think Hitmontop was drafted before this guy realized that Iron Treads is still available for hazard removal. So I think it's mostly like it's mostly trying to do that. I think you could definitely see if there's anything that can give you that hazard removal from tier 3. I'm gonna hope the dock loads. There might be. You never know. I mean, I don't feel like Decidueye Hisui is a great upgrade, but it's an option. Normal Decidueye is there as well.
But
If you draft Dustox, you'll be able to play in Nat decks, so then technically this can use default.
Ooh, big.
Yeah, it might be worth it. I don't really feel like digging through the entire pile of trash right now, so I'm gonna just give that as advice. Maybe swap that Pokemon and, like Sylvester said, get a little bit more offense. So I'll give it for now a 6.3.
I'll give it a flat 6.
I'm going 5.8. I like damage, dude. Sorry.
yeah, let's go 6.
I mean, you are right. The objective is of Pokemon is to knock the other Pokemon out. So damage is
But I'm
damage.
saying- but you know, there's a lot of different ways people do that, and this is a team that can't still do that. I don't know. I have a very
Yeah,
I
I can see where you're going. Alright, well, this next team is Tampa Bay Duskleers by Zane. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I was watching this draft. He was like Lando T, Ronan Wash, Hydreigon. I was like, okay, we're not playing Gen 5 or you, dude. Calm down.
Rip Lando T this gen, to be honest. It's still a good one, though. I wish I had more stuff.
You guys will never guess the Terra types on the Cryogonal. Pittsburgh, you can't talk. Alright, Sylvester or Carmen, you have to guess.
So-called free thinkers when it's time to draft an ice
What is
type
it?
with
It's
levitate.
like ice. It's like Ice Steel Electric, isn't it?
Yep,
It's ice steel.
exactly that.
It is exactly that.
I didn't even look. I just because levitate is like wow.
I will say, I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I mess with poison over steel so heavy on Cryogonal.
It's quite, yeah, I can see it. I don't really
You
think you
absorb
need.
ice spikes.
Don't really think you need electric when you have electric twice already.
Yeah, but Bolt Beam is fun on one mon.
Okay, no, okay, but hear me out.
relevant.
This man has 3 electric types, and they're all immune to ground. Isn't it incredible?
Mm.
This
Yeah, I
He's
guess.
never been hit by a ground move in his life. He's
Dude,
got
I've
5
never
ground immunity.
I've never seen a better matchup against ground ever. Like, what is this?
Okay, you get Cryogonal
Oh.
to set up the snow. You get Cryogonal sets up the snow, then switches to Kilowatcho, Weather Ball, Bull Beam coverage in one mon. Genius.
Boom.
Yo.
Yeah.
No, but I definitely would say maybe get Terra Poison on that Cryogonal. But I don't mind
That's what
it.
I'm saying.
I don't mind this team, right? Because these Pokemon have some good variety. Like I was saying with Rotom earlier, it definitely has very good. It has very good nasty plot sets, but it does bulky incredibly. Kind of same with Lando, even though it can't do nasty plot. I'd probably recommend Sword Stance. But yeah, it can do bulky fantastically. Cryogonal can be bulky and can also be offensive when you need it. Comfy can be a role player. Brambleghast can be a role player.
It's a shame that the guys that look like they get the fog don't get the fog anymore, so it's Cryogonal time for removal.
There's Brambleghast as well.
Yeah, it's Cryogonal and Brambleghast, and that's it.
It's not too bad though. I think if you have 2 decent ones, you're usually okay.
I will say, all these guys are so fast. Like, your slowest is 75.
Yeah, so it's definitely weak to Trick Room. That's a good point. Definitely something you might have to worry about because when Trick Room goes up and it's like something like an Ursaluna comes in, there's not really that raw bulk that really helps you against it.
Okay, no one runs Trick Room.
This is true. No one runs Trick Room.
So it's Carmen.
The Carmen exclusive maneuver, definitely. Ignore the fact that someone might have Ursaluna with Trick Room in this right now.
It's but I still like the team. I think it has a lot of ways to deal with your opponent. I think Mienshao is definitely fantastic as well because you can do, Scarf, AV, Life Orb, so many good offensive sets. I'd give it a 7, even though it kind of it has some weaknesses, but I think that's outweighed by what it brings.
I'm gonna give it a 7. A concern I have is that it's gonna be like, you have 4 mons you bring every week, and then whatever comes, whatever comes.
Yes, that's right.
It just feels a little bit like, here's Lando, here's Rotom, here's my Hydra Economy and Chow. Then whatever else is here, it's just here.
I'm gonna give it a 7.1 for those incredible Cryogonal Terra typings.
I'm gonna give it a
I didn't in
6.9.
any way influence Stain's choices on his Terra typings, and I do not have Cryogonal with the exact same Terra types.
All right. Good comment.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 6.9 because I hate those terrible Cryogonal Terra typings. I just wish Poison was on there because like fighting types exist and Poison I love it so much on Cryogonal. You're especially defensive on for psychic types. You run like the stupidest sets like Acid Armor Recover or something. It's just fun. I think it's just so much more fun than Steel.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Steel is generally good on Levitate, but like you're still sharing so many weaknesses with Ice that I feel like Poison is just more tactical on Cryogonal specifically with its stats and kit.
I can see that.
Oh, I agree. That is a good point.
Next up, we have
SherryDavis versus Masterofdankweed.
Oh, but your types are cool, Chuke.
No, thank you.
Your Cryogonals also.
Yeah. What the fuck? Alright, SherryDavis has Ice, Water Fairy Avalanche, and Fire Grass Fairy on Pyro. Well, this team, I quite like it, to be honest. I think
What?
I don't.
SherryDavis team?
We have pretty good speed tiers. I think Enamored probably wants to be choice all the time right here. But I think, you know, Iron Hands is such a reliable presence every single week. Milotic as well, because that's kind of your only real spin-off on the team. Maybe Shaman.
Now the question is, does Sherry actually EV the Iron Hands?
No.
function?
He hits the 252, 252. Which you
Ah,
could
that's
never
correct.
ever fucking do. Alright, Sherry, here's your spread for the next game. I do not care who the fuck your opponent is, but here's your spread. Alright, you're gonna go 120 HP. You're gonna go 48 adamant, and then you're gonna give it like 28 defense and put the rest of spin F. There you go. That's all you need to do. Alright, if you have left over because I'm tired, then just put it in speed. I don't fucking know. Anyway.
Like put 12 in
Next
speed.
game is Gnome. So,
Doesn't
next
matter.
game is Gnome. So, good luck.
Hi. But yeah, Hands is very, very reliable. I think Iron Crown's very fun. Especially when you EV that to like get boost energy speed and you can do Coal Mine bullshit. Yeah, I think having a couple like levitators and like flying types helps a lot because you're usually going to be bringing those two.
Raymond nicely complements them, I think, for the
Hey.
most part.
What are you guys seeing for weaknesses?
Oh, Mammoth's one weak. Kind of. I mean, Milotic is there, and so is Avalon.
Avalon. I wanted to bring offensive Pillow Swine so bad in this match. I played this team. But Avalon just exists, and really it sucks. I can't lie, I actually had a really hard time building against this team. I feel like it's very defensively annoying with stuff like Melodic and Avalon there to cover each other. Gligar for, stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
Terra.
but Gligar
Avalon,
doesn't
which
get
is
roost,
annoying.
so it just like takes 30%, and then the 30% is permanent.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
tier
true.
4 though, so it's not
Yeah,
too
but-
bad.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot it lost roost. It did definitely make it easier to kill. Yeah, I think it's still just a very annoying theme to break through though. Maybe it's something about my draft that we'll see later, but I had a tough time building here.
I think, I don't mind the team. I think it's solid 7. 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it 7.3.
If we EV correctly, it can go far.
7.5.
A fun, challenging team to build against, I think. Because I was like, oh, if I run this set, that won't work. Blah, 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 blah.
If you're still paying attention at this point in the recording, comment something about your favorite Bastion moments. Because
There's like 3 of them.
we're gonna now
Does
gonna
anybody
get
have a favorite Bastion moment in their life?
Alright, if you don't
Of
have
course.
a favorite Bastion moment,
You don't?
Alright,
Favorite Boldor moment.
come with your favorite GDL2 player. How about that? Speaking about my favorite favorite GDL2 player, we have Masterofdankweed. Alright,
Why did you pick the Petarant?
round 1 Macargo. Terra Fire Grass Fairy. Fucking incredible.
10.
Classic Macargo.
Yeah. 69 out of 2. Because that's how numbers work.
That's a lot of
That's a huge point.
Yeah. It has a speed gap between, like, after Talonflame. But it does have 2 very decent, really fast Pokemon. So that's really going to help you. I think it's weak to Fairy, but Macargo's coming every week. Plus, I guess you have 4 resistance anyway, and Petrar's pretty good as well, so. I think Hoopa and Bounce a fun one, Hackstar's a fun one. I am a little bit scared that this team has like 3 mid-tier like offensive Pokemon, and they're all just kind of occupying the same roles. And yeah, gonna be checked by similar things. Even though Hoopa can definitely go special, right? It's actually higher. What you guys saying?
I don't care what negative things you guys have to say. This team looks fun to me. That's what
I
care
fucking
about.
agree, bro.
For
This team has
anybody who's
guys
been
that
listening
hit
to my
hard.
ratings, just don't take my ratings at reasonable value, because I rate on how much fun they'd be. And I'm going to give this an 8.4.
But I agree with Tobias. There's just a bunch of guys that hit really hard, and that's kind
Yeah,
of
I
what
love
you
it.
have. But to be fair, when has Modba ever played defensively?
My only criticism would say if you're gonna run with a whole bunch of like fun guys like that, you should probably have Sticky Web.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah, that's true.
sticking to my 69 out of 2, which should work out about 34 and a half. Which is
I'll go 6.9 out of
Yeah.
10.
that's definitely a Spider's Jork moment where I skew the average rating, but you know.
Yeah.
Outlier would not be counted.
You're right.
I'll give it a 7.5.
Alright. Next up, we are now over halfway. We'll go to Gangster and Ninja. Start with Gangster. Yeah, this is what you get when the GDL player joins GDL2.
We might see we might see Killdeal go back to T1 if it performs really well.
I don't like that this team has 5 ground weaknesses and it relies on Torterra and Yomega as resists. And
Yeah, that could be
oh,
problematic.
well, Grass Skull Malola, yes. But yeah, that's definitely a big sticking point for me. I think defensively, this team struggles very much because I feel like you're definitely going to get overwhelmed when ground types have actual coverage. Because there's about 3 ground types in the game that don't learn Stone Edge, and I definitely forgot them, but I looked it up last week. So, yeah. Oh yeah, there's like Toadfruit, and that's kind of it. So like,
But it's fine, because who's gonna bring that ground type when Killdeal comes in and clicks Hydro Pump?
when a ground type can hit Torterra, you're in big trouble. So yeah, defensively, I think it's quite suspect. Offensively, you have so much going for you though, because you have, you usually can get a free turn for DD backs. Keldeo is obviously fantastic. You covered
That's not
Bisharp.
fair. I
Yeah,
could just show.
what's that? All right, sorry about that. I had a DC, but we're back. Carmen was about to say something.
Yes, Torterra could just show up like in a matchup. You're like, oh, it's gonna set up Stealth Rock. I can go to my defensive guy. It's like, oh no, that's Shell Smash. I lose now.
Yeah, I do like that. I think I like Bisharp plus like a bunch of Pokemon that can actually take fairy moves, so it doesn't have to do that. But I definitely don't like that this team is very defensively suspect in that sense. So I maybe be looking at getting rid of like, I don't know, Scaladurge for something. Try to like get something high tier so you can like really push your defensive. How do I say, like your defensive types a little bit better, because I know Gangster is a player that likes to play on the defensive typings as well. So I think
Yeah.
it might have to be necessary.
Yeah,
And
I feel like you
as
have
cool
the-
as your Mega is, you might want to replace that. Like, it's not like bad, but I just mean like if you want a T3 to help round stuff out too. If you don't want to get a Scaladurge.
I think
That
I
might
think
be
your
better.
Mega can stay, but you might have to get her like you might have to get a Levitate Pokemon or something.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, but I'll give it a. I'm only gonna give it a 5. No, I'll give it a 6.
This is a 6. Bisharp,
I'll
Keldeo,
give it a
backs.
420 because I feel like
He's
that's what
good.
Gangster would want.
You guys are giving this a 6? I like this team. I get that it's ground weak, but like,
Alright.
2 of those 4x weaknesses are Terra Captains, so
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna give it. I want to say 7, but then when I try to say 7, it's not coming out right, so I'll say 6.8.
Alright, next up we have the first bug week team ever. What? What the fuck?
Okay. So technically, it's not
How?
Bug Week.
No.
Two-
It has 2. I know it's not technically, but how do you do it, bro?
Like, who do we have? We have
Who's
Serena.
this?
Well, this is because Ninja got bullied into dropping Nuzleaf for Noctowl for Nuzleaf.
Alright.
And you might notice that he has 4 weaknesses to like 5 types, and Nuzleaf is weak to 4 of those. So if you have the same team, but
I
just
thought
no,
there was like some. Done about that.
I'm up with that real quick. So I'm gonna go to this duck, right? I'm gonna just remove Nuzleaf completely. I'll put it back on after the recording. and this is gonna make this thing look so much better.
Boom.
Wow.
Oh no, an extra ground weakness.
I'm sure Nullsleeve is very good at checking the ground types.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it is. Eviolite Nuzleaf?
Nullsleeve's back, but
Boy,
yeah,
Ninja Warrior.
this team is it's sure something. I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest. It's quite.
We have webs, but what does it webs help? I guess Infernate. Sure.
Nuzleaf.
Dango also opens up.
I
a
think
little.
the only thing I can really see with this team is like hazards and then like removal blocking and then going to like Zangoose. Because it's Terra normal fighting goes Zangoose, he can really break things.
It's okay. Our speed tiers are so. I'm looking at the speed tiers as well. They kind of look like mine, which means they're not great.
Yeah, I do like Regirock because I have Regirock in Dutch room right now. It's fucking incredible. You just Terra Fairy and you just sit there. They cannot.
I was so shocked that we let that thing be a Terra Captain. That sounds so annoying.
Yeah, that guy is such bullshit.
Okay, Regirock needed a win sometime in its lifetime.
Yeah. Oh no, Regirock's good this season, guys. What we gonna do?
Oh no.
I looked at this team
Tier 1.
in my matchup against it, and it looks so disgustingly annoying to break. I feel like if you're not careful in how you challenge this team, it'll be very easy to get whittled down and touched by like Infernate Man game.
I think T-Wave Goldango is such horseshit that like you can just bring down most games.
Yeah.
No, but I don't like
that.
this is like I don't like that there's webs and then nothing that abuses webs. But like maybe Zangoose.
I mean, Dango itself can abuse webs. I think webs
Yeah.
lets you bring more offensive Dangos with good as gold and stuff like specs.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't really love this team speed tiers, just to show them off. But
I like mine, which means they're bad.
I'm only gonna give it a 6.
I was gonna just say 5. I don't like it very much.
I thought I didn't like this team at first, but then I started looking at how to play against it. I was like, maybe I can mess with it. I'll give it a 6.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like, I'll say like 5.5. I guess you have Slowking for pivot, or actually, yeah, Slowking and Belly Bolt, but the rest of this team looks like it can just get run over by like a team like Zane's, where everything is just so much faster.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I thought at first, but there's so much bulk and like Wheezing, Slowking, Tingle Lewis, and Regirock, Terra, Bella Bolt even.
Just bring 6 mons that are all the bulkiest guys and play PP style. It'll be fine.
I mean, there's T-Spikes, there's normal spikes, there's Bella Bolt gets toxic now.
To be fair, I once built a team with I built a stall team in Gen 8 OU with Nuzleaf. Nuzleaf, it would come in and slow bro and be annoying with lead cheat. It was very good.
Cool.
Yeah. But next to we have 4 teams left. Silvestron, can you speak about your team?
It's perfect.
All right, next team.
Alright, well, you
So-
convinced me 10. Let's move on. Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula. So we have Samurott Hisui. All right, no, this team has
You need to pick up Mammal Swine so you can
no.
so you can have the devil.
Okay, well, Nebula has, right, some of the best Terra captains in the league. We have Ghost Fairy, Electric, Omnis Magus. We have Poison, Dragon, Ground, and Arbok. Arbok definitely gets a lot out of Terra, even though I maybe would have put it on Appleton myself. Yeah, but I think Samurott Hisui is so good when you have, like, fast breakers that really abuse the spikes.
Great if it hits Cecil's edge though. If it doesn't,
Yes.
that's just grim.
Yeah, but you get like 2 or 3 a game when you run Assault Fest. So like you'll get 1 or 2 up, so you're fine.
Mhm.
Nah, but I think this team has the look of like a team that like it kind of has a defensive core, but it kind of wants to be attacking as well. Like I don't feel like you want to be soaking up hits with this team because all your attackers are frail, so it's really very switch heavy if you're really trying to go for a bulk. I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No,
What
it's
are we
definitely a
talking
weird
about right
divide. Nebula.
Yeah, Sylvestron seems a 10, so we didn't need to
Yeah,
talk
we
about
already
that.
rated mine, so.
Like, you're right. It feels like it's a mix of like the bulky end of bulky offense and the offensive end of hyper offense. And then you put them two together, it doesn't quite make a balanced team.
Yeah.
But like, we're just missing something to tie it together, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't mind the speed tiers. I don't really mind most of it. I don't think any of the typings is missing are big, to be honest.
Ooh, but no bug. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a big yes.
Nah, but I think it's fine. A creative player can definitely get a lot out of it as well.
Yeah.
Because all these Pokemon, I think pretty much all of them have like pretty wide move pools, aside from maybe like Oricorio.
Sylveon's pretty bad.
Nah, dude, you can run like Choice Band.
You're in Choice Specs
True.
Hyper Beam.
Yeah, but I'll give it a 7.5. I think I'm pretty happy with it.
I give it a 7. I understand the points, but I don't quite see it as like super influential.
Yeah, I wish there was a little
Yeah.
bit more glue, but
It's
I
like
guess
when you
it's
put the
just-
Legos together, but then but you put it in a daycare, so then all the kids are willing to knock it over.
Alright, I guess
like-
I will
it's
be
like
the man of the
Jenga.
hot take. I want to give this a 6.2 to be honest with you guys. I don't like Samurott Hisui in tier 1. I think Ceaseless Edge is a busted move, but especially when it can miss, it's just not worth spending a T1 on a glorified spike setter that has like 2 sets, in my opinion.
I don't necessarily agree. I've been using it. It's great in my opinion.
Yeah, that guy
That's
just
fair.
does
I
the work.
used it and I miss Ceaseless Edge every week, so I don't like it. Other than that, I do mess with this team. I like Lake and Dusk. That one is the goat. Kind of cap out when you get towards like upper speed. Like fast guys are always going to be faster than this team.
Well, there's
Oh,
practice T-Wave, which helps.
True.
But
Yeah.
Until you have to
I'll
face
give this like
Terra, the rare Terra Dark Electrode.
Just like a 7. It's kind of like just a jack of all trades team. You know, no real glaring weakness, but it doesn't excel anywhere.
yeah, I can see that. I do want
It does succeed though. It's impressive. It's solid. Like it'll do well if it does well.
That is how that works. Yes.
Yes. I am. My vocabulary is immense.
I do want to just point out before we go to the next ones. Sylvestron Blast.
Sylvestron
I love
Blast.
Sylvestron Blast, dude.
Prismatic laser was so funny.
Motherfucker, prismatic laser.
Welcome to Heat of the Week.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
The Sylvestron Blast.
The last two teams were almost an hour.
Wait, do
so...
you guys want to actually rate my team, by the way?
Oh yeah, we can do it. We can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say your speed tiers aren't that great.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not.
Yeah, they're-
110 's
Having a
good.
gap from 95 to
University.
119 is pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, we have
Oh, yeah.
Sylvestron Blast.
I had
Okay,
more
you're
people
right.
up first for speed tiers, which stops like 110 mons from going adamant, but Electivire is more fun, so.
This team has a little bit of lack of fist F, I think, like mainly fist F
Yeah.
Pillswine, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I do like some of these picks though. I think I really love how you just put your picks in draft talk. If you got sniped, you got sniped.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, but you have some regular
GDL2 is an honorable community. GDL could never.
Yeah, yeah, you have.
And granted,
really...
everyone knew after round 3 I was taking Polytoad, and I got it in round 11.
I was trying to. I think someone had the points for it. I was trying to convince Onzaro to draft it.
Yeah,
and
it was
then he dropped
Enzaro.
it.
Who
Yeah.
could have stolen it from me.
But yeah, I like that there's some really good reliable Pokemon, right? So like a lot of Mega Cinderace come every week because they're always good.
Oh, love those mons.
Yeah. I honestly, it looks so fucking fun that I'm willing
It's
to
fun.
overlook the couple weaknesses, like the lack of
The
a
Whiskey
fairy
is
type,
just
for
trash.
example. There's fairy.
I have a
Pillswine,
fairy type, it's
Yeah,
plus mine.
Pillswine is your fairy type.
I
I like fairy Terra NFEs that are weak to fighting because more than Ghost. I saw that Rhydon earlier was Ghost Terra, which I guess makes sense for hazards and spin, but
Yeah, I like
I like
fairy.
fairy because it lets you resist knock as
Yeah.
well as fighting.
I'm gonna go with a 12 out of 5.
Well, that's huge.
Cool. Sure.
I'm gonna give it the Sylvestron Blast out of Sylvestron Blast.
Oh yeah,
That's the
that's a
maximum.
100%.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna give it a 9 because that's the amount of letters there are in Taylorham.
I mean,
Alright.
keep yourself safe.
We're really reaching a peak analysis here. Alright.
all
Last
losing
two
it.
teams. We have the Dreaming Dugong and Secret Guy. He has Ice, Ground, Fairy, Dugong, and Phalanx with Fighting Steel, Bug. Obligatory
Bug?
+1 for the Terra Bug.
Oh, for like first impression.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
I don't like that he didn't go Terra Ghost because Terra Ghost can spam no retreat, like unlimited. I think
Because it's not
that's,
trapped by that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think that's.
oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
I think that's a
Yeah,
big
because
miss.
ghost types are immune to shadow attack, so they're immune to like no retreats
Yeah.
mechanical thing where it keeps them in the battle.
I like when I was building this
Interesting.
team for him because he was like, just draft some shit for me, and he was like, oh yeah, but I want Dugong now, and I was like, okay, well great. This team, I mean,
I actually really,
go for it.
I was gonna say, I do like Webs plus Metacham. I think could be really, really good.
I fully agree. I think Web's Medicham. I think Rillaboom is very nice here. Rillaboom Magnezone is something kind of underrated.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
I think
Rillaboom also like protects Glowmore on like the weak earthquakes off of like a Slowking or something.
it's missing on a lot of types, right? Fireflying and Ghost are all ones that you generally want to have. So I think that's something that's going to be dodgy. But I think you're really going to be focusing. I think you're going to be focusing on running like bulky Latios and Magnezone. Well, it doesn't have to be like bulky, but they have to be there and they have to have like some longevity. I want to kind of get them and like Araconid to be that role player so you can get that Medicham and Rillaboom some kills. That's kind of how I see the team playing.
Mm-hmm. Is Flygon here just because it's the ground type? Because I don't see it doing much different than like I know Latias and Flygon are different Pokemon,
See,
obviously.
hear me out.
But
So
like,
I actually drafted this Flygon for him. Okay, so we're gonna go through the speed tiers. If Flygon's not there, what happens?
big gap.
Oh,
Yeah,
it is a 24-point gap. You're right.
yeah. So that's mostly why Flygon's there. I think Flygon also gives you another ground immunity. I know that means you're good against ground, and that's also good because you have 2 extra weaknesses. And that makes them a little bit better and a little less bad to bring, you know, because you're relying on Gnomebliterator for hazard removal. So being able to have good teammates that support it is very nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, objectively speaking, I would not be happy with this team. Subjectively, it looks fun as fuck. So I'm gonna go in the middle and give it a 5.
This is a 5 moment.
I'll go 6 because I love Latias and I love Araquanid.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go against the grain here. I actually really like this team. I'm gonna give it a 7. I feel like it's got a lot of great offensive potential, and it's got some Pokemon that can be a bit annoying on the defensive side, like Granbull and Persian Alola.
All right. Yeah.
Even Flygon can be a little annoying defensively.
It sounds good. Yeah. All right. Last team. We definitely didn't save one of the best for last. I know what team style this is. Pub quiz. Do you guys know what team style this is? Is it A,
Hyper
balance, B, hyper offense, C, stall?
What was the first option?
Balance.
I mean, Sandaconda and Corviknight. That sounds like balance to me,
Nah, this shit is H-O. We have Roaring Moon. We have Roaring Moon, Ogerpon, and behind screens.
And we have webs.
Yeah. No, it's not like H-O, but I think it's definitely going to be pushing more towards offense, right? We've seen Gnome do this shit before where he just puts up a veil and sweeps the backs. So I can see him putting up a veil, sweeping a Roaring Moon. I think everything here makes sense to me, right?
And it's like, oh no, I'm in trouble. Here's my Corviknight.
So it's Rook weak on paper, but Corviknight kind of resists Rook. And Sandaconda and Hariyama being Terra Captains means they have a lot of value in a game, which means they usually come more as well.
And like even without Terra, they kind of put in the work, either of them too.
Hariyama could also Terra Steel to still resist Rook anyway. Yeah, but honestly, I would love to use this team. It looks so fun.
I don't like hard hitters.
I don't like Corviknight, and you're relying on that and Tentacle for hazard removal, but I feel like this team can definitely just go for short games, right? Where you just kind of play the entire game in 24 turns, because it has such good sweeping.
Then your opponent brings Brick Break, and you're like, wait, what do I do?
go into your ghost type, I guess.
Just hard switch into Typhlosion.
Yep. And then they click knockoff and you lose the game.
The end.
Yeah, I think more than doing anything else, I think it looks so fun to use, and it's not only fun to use but still good that I think I might have to give it a 9, which would be my highest rating this entire. Well, my highest rating out of 10. I've done some anomalies.
I'll give it 8.5. I can see this team absolutely steamrolling some of these other defensively suspect teams.
I respect
I'll-
this completely.
Yeah, I'll go 9 because there were a lot of. Cause it matches up well against a lot of the other teams.
I mean, we had world's first bug week team, so I think that says enough about the the general quality here.
Hey man, Spectral Vantula running over whoever that was.
Yep.
It was Ninja.
Right?
Yeah.
I saw Spectacavantula almost beat Masterofdankweed today, but then he pulled it out with Dragon Dance or some. I don't remember. But yeah, I think unless I'm making big mistakes, that would be it.
That should be everyone, yeah.
I'm not gonna bother putting ratings on the screen, so I hope you paid attention. If you didn't, you probably don't care about the ratings or like who was the best anyway.
You're probably just gonna you're gonna fast forward to the part where your team's in.
Yeah. If you enjoyed watching, then let us know, because there might be a top division version of this.
If you don't like the video, you'll get SILVESTRON blasted.
If you don't like the video, also tell
You
me.
should comment telling Tobias to fix his Wi-Fi.
Hey man, it's already fixed.
Fix it again.
You should comment telling Chuke to fix it, Sean. I don't know. That's
No,
boring. No.
impossible challenge.
True. Alright, yeah, I'm trying to shit again. It's been an hour. See you guys.